Don't you know I'm gonna join a Baptist church? Hi, I'm Rory Block, and I'm going to be teaching you today everything that I know about Robert Johnson and how to play Robert Johnson songs. And of course, nobody will ever know everything, and nobody will ever be Robert Johnson. But I feel that that I've been connected to this music for most of my life, and this is sort of a big spiritual event in a way for me to come and sit down and pass on whatever humble things I've learned, because it's just my whole life, let me put it that way. So I was in a quandary about it for a while, and I came to a wonderful feeling about it, that it's important that I do this. I should stop and say we're in open G here. And open G capoed on the 2nd fret, and that's because that's where my voice generally wants to be with the Robert Johnson material in open G. So let's talk about what is an open G tuning. You probably know, but let me give you each note just so you can tune up to me. The low E string, as you know, is tuned down to a D. But when you're capoed to the 2nd fret, it comes back to an E note. Now, I don't read music, so you're on your own here. I take my A string and I tune it down one note. It's probably going to be a G. So we have, because technique-wise, we're going to also talk about dampening. Dampening is critical, and it takes place in several different areas. It takes place in your left hand, where you go. Let's do this little configuration that's on the 5th fret of the B and E, and then I'm going to add the 2nd finger to the 6th fret, which is part of Terraplane Blues and quite a few others. And I'm just going to show you what I mean by dampening with the left hand. You're going to pluck with the right hand those same two strings, and then after you've made the note, you immediately lift the pressure, and then you apply the pressure again immediately to play the next go-round. And you get a staccato. Probably should back up and talk about slide technique as well for just a minute. So one of the ways, as I mentioned, dampening is going to take place in the right hand, where your palm is actually cutting off the notes or resting on the strings. Your left hand is going to cut in here by lifting up, and you're going to, even with a slide, you can do that. I'm doing that with a slide here on that slide part. You see the slide coming on and off the strings. And you may not be able to see it from your angle, but also my right hand is also coming on and off the strings. So the two things together make a... So the first thing that is throughout many Robert Johnson songs is his high slide to the 12th fret with this, what I'm going to call up, down, up, and followed by 3 more up, up, up strums. Up, down, up, 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 up. That's part of the sound of it, is all these little up strums. Again, you could use your 1st finger. You could be very tightened up right up here to make it sound really, don't know why I do it, but I think there must be a reason. Again and again in Robert Johnson is this little ditty. I'll play it first, and then we'll take it apart. Once again, I've got my right hand right on the strings. This time I'm over the hole. I don't know why, but that's the way. I think I want a slightly rounder sound, and that's what you're going to get if your hand is right over the hole. If you're up here, it's going to be very, very edgy. Down here, it's another type of edgy, but here it's warmer. So this part needs to be a little bit more wide open in terms of tone than some of the high, edgy parts and some of the funky bass notes. This is going to be played. Let's talk about what happens after that. That's frequently an ending with Robert Johnson. Sometimes it's even an intro. I'll show you about that in a second. So on the A string, the 2nd fret to the 4th fret, you're going to slide, followed by a D bass. 5th fret of the high E string, A bass. So, or you could use your slide. Now you really know what's involved, so just refine your ear and struggle and do the count. Think, okay, he did that 3 times, 4 times. How many times was that? And you just got to struggle and get it. It's the bottom line. There's no easy way. So I'm going to start with this high slide. And I'm going to go, I've only added this little additional piece recently, where instead of just staying at the octave, like that, I'm going to go down to the previous fret as a little additional bit of interest. Robert Johnson did it. You have to really race to get there, but it's worth it. If I had possession of a judge's key, Lord, if I had possession of a judgment day, said I wouldn't have no right to pray.